So I love dreaming. I love reconnecting with myself. I love thinking about what I want to make happen. I love thinking about how I want to feel, the things I want to experience. And I have done this since a really young age. So when I was a kid, my dad would tell me, Carrie, decide what you want and write it down. He sent me on a course when I was about 10 to learn about, we learned about visualization, we learned about the F word, which was fantastic. We learned about putting ourselves in a bell jar to protect our energy. But one of my favorite exercises was this exercise called the house on the right bank, which was a visualization where you could go into like a movie suite and you could like create a movie of the things you wanted to achieve. And as a teenager, I created my first ever goal folder and I wrote out the things that I wanted and I started dreaming about the life I wanted and put a bottle of perfume in there of how I wanted my life to smell when I was successful. And I would smell that perfume and I would just connect with this idea that I was going to be successful. And so I've always loved doing it. There have been so many times where I found it difficult and found it really hard to actually decide, what do I actually want? Like, what do I want? But the reality is, if you stop someone on the street and you said to them, what are your goals? What's your dream life? I think that most people would struggle to answer that question because the reality is most people don't think about it. Most of us are not told, or like we never, we don't get told at school, really like think about your dream life, think about your goals. You might get asked like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, what career do you want? But it's not really ever in the same context as like, what is the dream life for you? What do you actually want your life to be like? What do you want to experience? How do you want to feel? It's never really based on that. And I really feel for myself that like, I am where I am because I've been really intentional. I remember this Tony Robbins quote. He said, 10 years from now, you'll surely arrive. The question is where? And more importantly, where do you want to arrive? And for me, it's such a powerful question. Where do you want to be in 10 years or 5 years or 12 months or even 6 months from now? And do you know the answer to that question? So in this episode, I want to share with you a lesson from a masterclass I created, Design Your Dream Life and Dream Business Masterclass. And I wanted to pull this lesson from it, which is all about how to create the vision for your dream life. And I wanted to share it with you because I just feel like this is such important work for all of us to do. At any time, really. I feel like I always want to revisit this stuff. I'm always trying to remind myself to come back to my vision and my dreams. And I'm not perfect at this, by the way. I struggle to come back to it as well. And I get caught up in the day to day and, I like everyone else, but I'm always at least trying to remind myself to come back to making that space for dreaming and connecting and creating that vision. I know that our lives become, I personally think, so much better, we feel so much better because we feel like we're being so much more intentional when we set that vision for ourselves. So I really hope you enjoy this podcast episode, which is a lesson from my masterclass. If you are part of the membership and you haven't taken this masterclass, go dive into it and take the entire masterclass and really kind of build it all out. I will leave the link to it below, but enjoy. Hello and welcome to this masterclass where we are going to be designing your dream life and business. This is such an important thing to do. I mean, we all know it is. Goal setting, dreaming big, so incredibly important, yet we just don't make the time for it. Like so often we are so busy in the weeds, just rushing through life that we don't give ourselves permission to just take the time to just stop and dream and think about what we want and reconnect with what we want. So that is what I want us to do in this masterclass. I want you to give yourself permission to create that space around you for dreaming big, for really thinking about what you want to make happen. When we do this, it's so important, it's so powerful because it brings us back home to ourselves, to what is it we're here for? Like, what do you want more of? What do you want things to look like? And I've also realized in doing this myself, the best part is that so often we live in this state where we're not truly connecting with what we actually want. And so we feel like we are here, but what we want is someplace in the future. But when you actually make time and create that space to really intentionally think about actually, what do I want in my dream life? What is my dream business like? You realize there's actually a lot of things you could be doing now and changes you could be making now to be
living that life you want right now, to be experiencing those feelings right now. You don't have to wait until. And when you realize that, it's so liberating, because actually you can start feeling amazing now, and that's really amazing. That's incredible, isn't it? So I'm really excited to walk you through a really powerful process where we're going to dive into your dream life, because at the end of the day, we're all building businesses because we want to live our dream lives. Like, that's why we're doing this, because, you know, when we might have different reasons, you know, we might want to feel like we're doing something really meaningful in the world, with something we're really passionate about, you want to make loads of money, whatever it is, but you're building your business for a bigger reason, because it's going to impact your life in a bigger way. So you have to know the vision for both areas if you want to create ultimate success. Otherwise, you know, so many people create businesses and they're not even enjoying it. It's not even helping them to live the life they want. So we're going to start first with, what is your dream life? So I'm really, really excited to dive into this with you. As you really go and do this work, I would suggest like creating a really beautiful space for you to do this work in. So maybe you want to put your headphones in and you want to listen to this somewhere, and take yourself to maybe a beautiful setting. Maybe you're going to go back to a lake or a really nice hotel, or maybe you're going to curl up on the sofa with your favorite drink and you're going to have your notebook and pen and you're going to start dreaming there. But create that really nice space for yourself, light that candle. I don't know, make yourself feel good as you do this process. Okay, so if you're ready, in this lesson, we're going to dive into the vision that you hold for your dream life. So I want you to give yourself permission to create this space now to think about, what does your dream life look like? What does it look like and what does it feel like? Tony Robbins once said, in 10 years from now, you'll surely arrive. The question is where? Where do you want to arrive in 10 years? Or where will you arrive in 10 years or 5 years and 12 months? And more importantly, where do you want to arrive? Where do you want to arrive? So you can stretch out as far as you want. You know, maybe you do want to think about where are you going to be in 10 years from now? Maybe you don't want to go that far. Maybe you just want to think about the next 12 months or the next 3 years or 5 years. This is your life plan, so you can dream as far into the future as you want. So really thinking about, what does your dream life actually look like? And I want you to give yourself permission to just open yourself up, crack yourself open to all the possibilities right now. Dream big with this. Like, what do you want to be doing? What do you want? What would a day in the life of your dream life look like? What would you be doing on a day-to-day basis in your dream life? Where would you be? Where are you living? What house are you living in? What trips are you going on? What cool things are you doing? What amazing things are you experiencing? What really fun things are you part of? What does your life look like and how do you feel? So maybe you're going to some point in the future where you're living in your dream house. Like, how do you feel? What's around you? I want you to get really connected and really start tuning in and start visualizing. So I just want you to open yourself up to really kind of thinking about this. And ideally, for the next day, I want you to start really paying attention and looking around at, what could your dream life look like and be like? And what do you want for your dream life? Like, what does work look like for you in your dream life? What do the weekends look like? What do your days look like? And then go to places like Pinterest, for example, and start looking on Pinterest. Start going down rabbit holes and exploring different ideas, exploring different possibilities. Start having conversations with other people about, like, what's your dream life? The more people you talk to about what their dream life looks like, the more you realize, oh my gosh, I never even thought about that as a possibility for myself. But oh wow, that's amazing. So for me, like, my vision for my dream life is, I want to live the most expansive and fulfilling life. And for me, it's all about exploring the possibilities. I want to be the adventurer. I want to see what's possible for myself. I want life to feel fun and adventurous. And so for me, it's looking at, okay, what fun things can I do every single month? I want to be going on these fun trips. I want to be going away to places that light me up and that make me feel alive. Because I know for me, if I travel and I go to new places, it brings a really big sense of fulfillment and joy. So for me, that's a really big part of it. Also, really getting clear on how much I want to work. So I know that I want to take time off over the summers. So I want to spend time with my kids. So I know that I want to take that time off to go and adventure and explore with them. I also take Fridays off work because I knew I wanted my life to spend that time with them. So Friday, Saturday, and and Sunday, I am in fun mum mode with the kids, hanging out with the kids. And, you know, maybe right now you think, well, that's not possible for me, or I can't take a massive chunk of time off, which is fine, but you can still put it in your dream life vision. If that's something that sounds really cool for you, then make it part of your dream life. I know people that go to like Hawaii for a month in, or even more over in the winter. They go somewhere warm in the winter and they take their kids and they go somewhere warm. So like maybe that will be something you want to do in your dream life. So for me as well, like conjuring up my dream life, something I really want to do when the kids are a bit older is take them out of school for a year and go and travel around the world and explore the world with them for a year, and like look at what would they be learning in school that year and go to places around the world where they can actually go and learn about that stuff in real life and go to see those places. So for me, that's definitely on my list of things I want to do in my dream life. So something else important for me in my dream life is like health and wellness, and how am I taking care of myself? How am I really looking after my body? How am I going to make sure that I age the best I can possibly age in terms of my energy levels? How can I make sure I have that level of vitality in my life? So really looking at that and building that into my vision for health and wellness. So really looking at your life in different areas like family, health and wellness, just success, like home, the things that you have. Also a big part of me for like dreaming in my dream life is about giving back. Is about me being able to give back. And what does giving back look like? What is the dream scenario where I can give back? And what does that look like? How am I showing up? How am I supporting? What am I doing to give back? Because that I find really rewarding. Also looking at like a personal development level, I love to be expanding my mind. I love to be learning. I love learning about things to do with like the mind, doing inner work, spirituality. So like it really helps me from like an emotional perspective. So what do you want for yourself from an emotional perspective? How do you want your dream life to feel emotionally? How do you want to feel? Like, what is it that you want to be tuning in with? Really looking at it, and like I said, go and get inspiration on places like Pinterest to help you to pull together the picture for your dream life, for this vision that you have. You don't have to have it all perfectly figured out, but just start thinking about, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want the next 12 months to look like? What are some of the big things I want over the next 5 years or the next 10 years? So for me, I have like visions of things that I want to do, like going on a holiday on just like randomly like on a yacht, and I've just always had that vision of like wanting to go and like sail around like the Greek islands or somewhere like that, and just having that vision for myself. I know other people who have had a vision of like wanting to go to Disney. So what is that vision for you? What does that dream life look like? What cool trips are you going on? What places are you visiting? What fun things are you doing? What are you experiencing? So I want you to take some time and really think through this, and give yourself the space to think through it today. Like give yourself a full day. You know, come back and revisit this. Like if you haven't got all the time today, maybe you're going to set some time aside on a weekend to really go through this and dream and think. And if you can do it with a partner or a friend, or your accountability partner, it's so good to do it together, because it gets you thinking around, you know, other people can help open up your mind to like what's possible. So that's what I want you to focus on, really tuning in with your dream life vision and crafting a statement for yourself, so you have a succinct statement for what your dream life vision is. It could be a paragraph, it could be a couple of paragraphs, but I want you to write down, I mean, it could be an entire page, but write down what your dream life vision is, so that you can stay connected with it.